I remember I kept on telling everyone at school, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to drop out. Everyone was just laughing at me. And then eventually I did it, pulled it off, and then went from 0 to Dubai in like 12 months.
How would you get your first clients if you had no money, no connections?
I just cold called my ass off. 15-hour work days, like break with a girlfriend, cut out all your friends and like everything, because this is literally your one time to do it in your life.
What was the pivotal moment for you getting into Smma?
I went to uni for 2 years and I just dropped out because I just was sound that I was wasting time.
Okay, what's up guys? So today we're joined with Erik. Some of you may know who he is, but yeah, he's a legend in the Smma space. I believe you got started in real estate, but I'll let you do an intro for the people.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys might know me from the Charlie Morgan interview. I went from 0 to 30K a month in 5 months with my Smma in real estate. And now we're out here in Dubai, so started about 2 years ago, and now we're just living in Dubai, just having this guy over. It's sick time out here, so yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what was the pivotal moment for you getting into Smma? Like, I think you were at uni, or like you didn't go to uni. You did, yeah. Just dropped out.
I went to uni for 2 years and I just dropped out because I just found that I was wasting time. I remember I kept on telling everyone at school, I'm gonna start a business and I'm gonna drop out, and everyone was just laughing at me, and then eventually I did it. And then I pulled it off and then went from 0 to Dubai in like 12 months after dropping out, which was crazy. So
that's crazy. And I think it's like hard for a lot of people because like their parents are telling them not to do it, their friends are telling them not to do it, and like you're the only one that like can kind of see how it works, but you haven't done it before. So what would your advice be to someone that's like kind of in that awkward stage where they haven't seen any success, they've got no right to like tell their parents they're dropping out, but what would you say?
I mean, it's hard because like your parents think, in their true perspective, in their paradigm, they think they want the best for you, but in reality, that might not be the actual case of like at the end of the day. So you have to just have pure conviction, because like if anything, just anything in life is conviction. Like if you're going to a restaurant and you have like, this is the best restaurant that I know is like, this is the best spaghetti's there, like you're gonna have way more confidence in that restaurant compared to someone saying like, oh yeah, it's like, it's an okay restaurant. Like you need to have a lot of conviction in your plan. You need to make a plan, write it all out, show the plan to your parents, and then you could do it. But like once you drop out and go all in, like you have to go fully all in. So like you need to move cities if you can, like 12-hour, 15-hour work days, like break with a girlfriend, cut out all your friends and like everything, because this is literally your one time to do it in your life. So yeah.
I think that's pretty solid advice. Do you want to talk like some game on nightmare mode? Because I know you talk about it a lot, and I've been watching. I can't remember whose interview it was, but I'll let you explain it. Because for beginners, like just like setting your chair on fire, just going all in, and then just going hard with this strategy, which I think should help a lot of people watching.
Yeah. So nightmare mode is pretty much like monk mode, just like way more intense, and it's kind of like one period in your life where you just go fully fucking all in, like cut out everyone. So pretty much what it means, it's like, as a base rule, it's kind of just like cutting out all instant gratification and only focusing on long-term gratification, and at the same time like changing your self-image a lot. So doing things like visualization, affirmations, cutting out your old friends, break with a girlfriend, you could not see your family as often, because like all these things are based off your old belief system and old self-image. So if you try to change your life drastically without changing anything in your life, it's not really going to work, So you need to like just be around nobody else but people online, and then that's exactly how you do it. And then just like animal-based diet, super clean food, just grinding like 12-15 hours a day, and that's kind of how you pull it off. So
it's crazy to think that like every belief a beginner has is probably wrong. And
exactly,
like school within itself, where you have to put your hand up first without like you're not the one asking questions, like the opposite of sales. Just like any other belief as well. So I do like that advice of just like kind of removing all beliefs and just going straight at it. Now I did a poll on my Instagram story, which will bring me to the next question of like where my audience is at in terms of their journey, and it's probably the same with you. But what would your number one piece of advice be, or like let's say like mechanism, like in terms of getting the client? How would you get your first clients if you had like no money, no Dubai penthouse, no connections, just nothing? Like what would you do?
Well, at least what I did personally, I just cold called my ass off until I got my first client. I remember it took me a while to get I was booking a meeting straight away, but it took me a while to actually close someone because I just was so bad at sales. Like it was insane. I remember my mentor actually was getting on sales calls with me to like help me out because I was just so bad. But like you just need to do enough volume to actually see it through, because the only reason that you could lose in the game is just to quit. Like that's just how it works. You automatically win if you don't quit. So you just need to keep on pushing through. But the best way to do it is honestly cold calls is usually the best way that I've found, or you can do cold SMS. Even if you have a bit of spare capital, you could also run paid ads, but probably wouldn't recommend straight away. But I mean, you just need the right information and the right belief system, and that's honestly the only real things you need, and as long with volume, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so cold calling. I know like how, not stupid, but like beginners, they literally need everything laid out step by step. I don't know if it's the same with your people. Like you tell them to do something, like calling, and then they literally have like 10 objections around it, or like bad beliefs basically, like we were just saying. So what would you say, like, because obviously you know the first like even 100 phone calls are like your heart starts racing, like what would you say, like, because I've got my like opinion on it and I'll explain after, but what would you say to someone like that just needs to pick up the phone but like is shitting themselves basically?
Okay, so you need to realize why you're scared in the first place, because you guys might, whatever someone calls you in the past, like cold calls you might have been rude to them. So then there's like the mirror principle. So subconsciously you're trying to protect your own self because you're doing that task that you were rude to someone about. So you don't want to disrespect yourself. So that's the one thing. Be nice to people over the phone. Second of all, you need to just remove the fear of rejection, because that's actually what's deeply rooted, is fear of rejection. Because you don't have enough self-confidence, and probably your self-worth is based off external validation, meaning if someone rejects you, then your self-worth is going to go down. So that's the next thing. Also, you need to reprogram your beliefs around cold calling in the first place. In like any sort of task in business in general, I used to think of like, oh, I'm just going to David Goggins mode, like fucking power through the shit. You need to do that at the start. But a long-term way of actually doing it is you need to kind of incentivize yourself around doing cold calls in a way where you have more pleasure and positivity attached to doing that activity compared to negativity. So for example, you're going to learn better sales skills, you're going to get better with girls if you do more cold calling, you're going to close more clients, you're going to make a fuck ton of money, you're going to get better at like just baseline skills. And then like the more long-term you do that, you're going to just build way more long-term skills, and everything going to do way more cold calls. But if you have like a negative like just mindset around cold calling, it's just going to be like hard to pull it off. So you need to like flip the script to like, because keep in mind, the subconscious is always moving away from pain and moving towards pleasure. So the more that you could have, it's called conscious congruency, is where you align your subconscious beliefs with the conscious action that you want to do. So if you just subconsciously align yourself with those goals, then that's when you do it. But if you're just trying to willpower your way through and everything, it's going to be hard. So yeah.
I think a lot of it links to like your childhood as well.
It does.
Like it's never, if you think about cold calling from like first principles, like picking up the phone and just like calling people, it's not scary.
It's not scary at all.
It's what you think their reaction is going to be. So it's the second and third order consequence that's like holding you back. Maybe you were like rejected as a child or something like that. But if you look at like billionaires like Elon Musk, like I'm pretty sure his like father like used to like abuse him.
Going on.
So a lot of like entrepreneurs are just like insecure, but I would use that to like your advantage. But so you got a client. Was it through cold calling?
It was,
Okay, and then did you do the same thing to get another client?
Yes, I did. Yeah. So actually, the only thing I did to hit 10K a month was cold calling. I tested out every single method, like Looms, everything, but like, and I was actually getting a lot of meetings from Looms as well, like with my automation, you guys know. But like all the clients I closed were from cold calling for some odd reason. Usually it's actually a higher closer with Looms, but that was just the case. So yeah.
Yeah, and what are your? Because I know you went on like a dry sales streak.
Yes.
I can't remember where I saw that, but I'm trying to think back to it.
It was like 60 sales calls a pure note. That was insane, bro.
60's wild.
That was so bad. Like
60 sales calls with no like. Do you think it's because I teach my people differently in terms of like having more of like a middle of the funnel, because like cold calling's top of funnel, like a stranger, you get them to book a call, and then it goes straight to the bottom of the like sales process.
That's the thing.
So there's no like content assets. So like going back, what would you have done differently to not have 60 calls and like leave a shit ton of money on the table?
So obviously the content assets is a big thing. So you need to have like pre-call videos or back-end VSLs, which is actually going to warm up your prospect. Because I was looking back, and I'll kind of go into it just after this, but like if you actually think of let me ask the audience this. When was the last time that you guys bought from someone online and that was the first time you've ever seen them ever? Like never. Like maybe like an e-com thing once, but like no course or mentorship, whatever it is. So you need to extrapolate that and use it in your own business, because if you're trying to close people, and you just cold call them, and they didn't even know that you existed like yesterday before you cold call them, and now you're trying to like have them pay like $5K over the internet. It's just not going to work. So you need to have pre-call videos. So like it's about 5 to 15 minutes, usually 10, 15 minutes. Kind of explain your offer, your guarantee, your increase in your conviction, going over back in the company, whatever it is. That's going to help you a lot. But the main thing I actually did to increase my close rate, at least at that brutal dry streak, was actually visualize me closing the deal. Because I had built up such a negative thought pattern, negative belief system around closing at that time in that like few week period, because I was closing nobody, and I'd be like, okay, I'm bad at sales, and then that would manifest and show up in sales calls that I'm bad at sales, and then that would just reinforce that belief. So by breaking that belief with visualizing, that's how I did it. And also more importantly, reviewing my own sales calls, because I learned a lot of things I was just fucking up on, and it just wasn't good at all. So there's lots of things I did, but yeah, that was the main things.
Yeah, I think recording's probably like the highest leverage, like recording sales calls, and then also like the answers that you get on those sales calls, like creates like just a vault that you can then, because it's like market research. Like
exactly,
we do the same thing for onboarding as well. Like when we sign a client, we ask them like, what was the one reason why you bought, and then that can just become your like front end marketing. But I like the idea of the feedback loops. Like it's very easy to get into a negative one when you're starting out. Like you have a sales call, you don't close. And then you become more needy to like close, which makes it even worse. And I think a lot of success is just like letting it come to you, like becoming the person that attracts like network, clients, all that stuff. What would you say like could help you? Obviously, like better shape, better like I don't know. But what would you say? Your opinion is on like letting success come to you and not chasing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've actually split tested both, and it really depends on the situation, but like usually it's better when you have it come to you, because I've done that with so many things in life, with manifesting, using like reality transfer principles and stuff like that. So I've done that with a lot of things, like getting the username Erik on Instagram, or getting girls, or getting certain monthly revenues, or certain deals to go through, or even meeting a certain person out of nowhere. The most random situations will happen which will make you meet that person. So it's like it's a big thing, but like a lot of people will just get lazy though. So you need to like really study reality transfer and how it works. You need to make sure you're using it the right way. Otherwise, you could just get lazy and not really do it. But like, I think the days of like hard work are necessary, but at the same time, you need to like also have success just come to you. Like the more you could just attract it into your life, be the type of person who's already there, and visualize those certain scenes, which will indicate your goals already being achieved. Like that's the moment where reality just like warps. It's just like it's crazy how it works, but
I think working hard versus working smart, like I would say working smart is probably more important. Like if you knew, like if you had your daily routine now when you first started, or maybe not because you've hired people and stuff like that, but I'm sure the audience wants to know, like, what does your day look like? Because if I don't know this quote, but it's like, show me your action today and I'll tell you where you'll be in like 6 months, right? Because it's just cause and effect. If you think about it from very like first principles point of view. But what does your day look like? Maybe when you started then now.
So when I first started out, I was waking up at around like 7 or 8 a.m., nothing too crazy. And then I would just get sun, get like a liter of water in, or like 500 milliliters, and then just go straight into cold calls for like hours on end. And then I would take sales calls in between events of the day, but usually at this moment I was booking in about 10% of my dials, just above that. So I would usually have like 8 sales calls a day even, which was crazy. So I was having like no breaks. I would try to get like food in between sales calls, but they're all so packed up, so it's kind of hard to do it. But I would literally just work the entire day, and then after around like I'd say 6 p.m. there's no more sales calls really, and then I'd just like learn more course content, do service delivery, build up more systems, and like do mindset training. And then I'd do that around until like 8 p.m. or so, and then or like 9 p.m. actually I'd go to the gym after that, and then just come home, meditate, visualize, read, go to sleep, and then just repeat that for like 3 months. And that's what got me there. So
I mean, for those watching, notice how there wasn't like any building like websites or like the dumbest things ever that I see beginners. It's just like they face some resistance from calling, and then they just do things that they think productive, but like it's just not productive. But like you can see how he got there just from like doing the hardest thing first in the morning. I think that's another one, because I know I don't take meetings in the mornings now. I don't know if you're the same. It's just like optimal for deep work. Especially on Dubai time zone, because like no one's up in America, so no one's hitting your phone. It's just like
It's just grind.
It's focus.
But I did actually, so within the first I pretty much, this was in September 1st, 2022 is when I first started my agency and joined a course and got a mentor as well. But the first like 2 weeks actually, I was just going through the course, and then I fucking realized like, what the fuck am I doing? I need to do outreach. Like I'm just wasting time like watching their videos. Like this is cool, I'm learning a lot, but like I'm not actually moving the needle. I'm running out of time. So I just did urgently. I just like fucking woke up one day. Okay, fuck it. We're gonna do like 150 cold calls every single day for the next few months, and we're gonna get fucking rich. And then it works. So that's kind of what I did. But if you guys are watching this, like it's good to go to the courses and build out the website, but just spend like max a few hours on your website, max a few days on the course, and then just get straight into outreach, because you could waste a lot of time if you don't. So
no, I think that's pretty solid advice. Okay, I'm trying to think what we could talk about next that would be most like impactful for viewers. So we covered mindset, how to get your first client. Should we talk about scaling from like a few clients to, let's say 10k, 20k, and then you're at like what,
100k, but just kind of dropping in between out there right now, but
it fluctuates, which no one talks
always
about. Like,
fluctuates, right?
But you see,
like you can say, oh, I'm making 100k a month, but like it's not always a month. It's like
that's for everyone as well. Like you see 100k months on like people's Instagram stories and stuff, but like you got to understand that if they did that every single month, they wouldn't be posting onto their Instagram story.
I know, that's the thing. Yeah.
So it's
like be aware of gurus doing that, because it's just like it's not always the case. Like they're trying to like flex stuff like that, but anyway, so at least going from like first few clients to like 10k, 20k a month. Okay, so let's just say going from 0 to 10, it's mainly just about changing your belief system, doing a fuck ton of inputs every single day, so high volume cold calls, and that's kind of it actually. I mean, I guess there's obviously having the right information, but like you don't really need to focus too much on service delivery because like the best way to get good at service delivery is just to sign as many clients as possible.
Literally,
so
and that's something that like my younger self when I started didn't realise. I was watching like every service delivery video or like course out there, but like it's the same with like Steve Jobs. Any successful business, they just like get customers, they get feedback, 'cause that's the only way you actually get feedback, and then you go from there. Like there's no other way around it. I think the only way out is through. Like you're not gonna get good like let's say you're running Facebook ads or something so simple. It's impossible to like, as soon as you open the ads manager and just start spending money, you'll learn it like 100 times quicker. So that's what I would say to like anyone starting out. Like you have to get clients to be able to improve your service delivery. And
you'll never be prepared for your first client. Like don't learn service delivery before you sign your first client, because you're gonna be wasting time. Like I just signed my first client and I had so much urgency to figure out like fuck, how do I do all this shit? And then it just worked. Like you learn the fastest when you're in that urgency state. So that's the best.
And I think as long as you tell yourself like you're going to do everything you can in terms of like just making a promise to yourself that you're going to try your absolute hardest to deliver, that's all you can really do. And I promise you guys, if you get paid, you'll learn it like really quickly.
Because like there's no other option. You have to make it work.
Yeah, same with like the dropping out of college. Like
exactly.
Like the secret to success is just like
just putting yourself in these super high stress urgency situations, because like if you like comfort is like the killer of man. So that's the same thing as like service delivery. It's like if you're gonna get comfortable trying to learn it first, it's not gonna work. Like
especially if you're starting out as well. Like you're very unlikely to mess up entirely by making like the wrong decision. It'll be indecision that like holds you back, just not doing the thing.
Exactly.
Like because you have no clients, you probably have no money. It's like you have nothing to lose by like cold calling. Whereas we have this like mindset when you're starting out that like you're going to be embarrassed and all of this stuff. No one cares.
Literally no one cares. Like if any of you guys are watching this right now, you haven't had a cold call, like literally go on Google Maps, search up a random niche, I don't know, like med spa, real estate agent, like whatever it is, and just call one and just don't even try to sell them. Like just like, because then that actually removes the fear of rejection. Same as thing as like talking to a girl. It's like kind of the same as doing cold calls, but if you go with the intent of not even having the ability to get rejected, for example, asking for directions, you can't even get rejected for asking for directions. Same thing is like you could even just do a prank call to a random person, because like there's no actual room for rejection. It's just like it's just a bit awkward, but it's like it's funny. You're like when you're a kid and they prank call stuff like that. It just doesn't matter because it's just you don't get rejected. So it's the same thing there. That's like one thing I would do to do your first free cold call. So.
What do you think is the best like pricing model for someone that doesn't have clients? Like, do you say they just like get a setup fee and like?
I don't know. Like I don't really like free trials. Like looking back, I actually did a few free trials, but like, I don't know, you could
I
do
don't
them.
like it
I mean,
either.
like, I remember I think the first client was like a free trial for 30 days, and then after 30 days, it would pay me like, I think 1K.
30 days is way too long as well.
Yeah, it's
like
long,
that's,
so, yeah. But I mean, it worked out, but like, ideally, you guys need to get money up front because you're at such a low position if you charge free. Like, if you don't charge anything, because like, they don't view as authority, they're not going to be as committed, they're not going to get the best results. Like, the moment that they pay you, then they're going to be like, okay, I need to get ROIs, and they're actually going to work hard to get the ROI. So,
And it links back to the like negative feedback loop. If you don't charge, then there's no skin in the game from the clients. There's no reason for them to like help you get them results. So you're not going to get them good results, and then you'll be thinking, shit, like I haven't even been paid and I can't get this guy results. But then what happens is when you charge more, the clientele is like way better. You can actually work with people who don't care the whole, like I don't care like spending like 5k 10k on something, same as Erik probably. So I think working with the right people as well, and that's what happens when you start charging more. But obviously if you're a beginner, like probably just get a setup fee and then do like, I don't know, commission or whatever. Like,
I mean, typically set a fee plus pay per appointment is usually best because it actually lowers the risk compared to doing like retainers, because it's more in their mind, like commission technically. We can do that, pay per appointment, commission, whatever it is, but I think having a guarantee is honestly very strong because it just completely reverses the risk for them. So I think it's very good to do. Yeah.
Okay, so so after you had a few clients, when did you start ads? Just for those wondering.
I started ads actually when I was at like past 10k month already, so that was fast. But that's actually how I scaled, because like, and this also comes back to networking as well. So what actually happened is someone DM'd me, and I was actually, this is like way past 10k month, but so pretty much someone DM'd me from my YouTube, and then they just messaged me, and pretty much they taught me how to do TikTok ads. And it was actually someone that paid me for coaching call, but one of his friends learned how to do TikTok ads, and then he taught me how to do it. So that's pretty much, I mean, TikTok ads is how I scaled as well, with meta ads as well, and just building out cold calling teams and everything. So that was very solid. Yeah.
What do you think the best like offer is for someone starting out? Like I'll give my opinion and you can talk, but like I recommend like some type of traffic, so like Facebook ads, Google ads, especially if you're helping local businesses. Like most of the people that work with me, they help like online service providers, so it's slightly different, but I think a traffic source and then some like conversion mechanism. Obviously you would probably install like a call center. I know some people did that. We now use like AI and stuff to convert, and then just like normal traffic. Are you like similar in terms of what you'd recommend?
I mean, usually just straight up ads is usually the best. At least for me, it just keeps it simple. But like, I think having that aspect to it is very, very, because it gives you a huge value proposition. Because if everyone else is offering ads in the market, your close rate's going to drop, your show up rate's going to drop, because you're not different and authentic. So the moment you can have these offers on the side, even like database reactivation protocol or Google review campaigns, like some people offer, but not absolutely everyone. So the more you could like stand out, your show rate will actually increase, and also your close rate will increase as well. So that's a big thing. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. I always recommend like database reactivation and then ads, because like worst case you can get them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've heard crazy stories of people making like 40K for their clients in the first like week just with database reactivation. Like it's insane. Yeah. So it works super well.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. We spoke about ads, client, mindset. What else do you think would be like valuable? I mean, we can talk about like success in general. Like, do you think it is what you thought it was when you started out? Or is it overrated?
It's super interesting. Like I remember looking back at my old videos I was making, like just to myself, like documenting, and I was just like saying I want to go to like, Cape Town and travel the world and stuff like that, and I eventually did that, which was cool. But it's like I would have not expected to get this far though, I would say. Yeah. Because it's like us like living in Dubai at like 22 and like how old are you?
I'm 20.
20, yeah. So it's like it's insane. Like there's literally people on the street who are like 40 years old. Just
I see so many old people.
Yeah, it's fucked. And they're just looking at us like, how the fuck do you do this? Like it isn't like a thing like in their paradigm.
Yeah, it's the same with parents. Like they can't comprehend. Like
they just can't comprehend it. Like, what do you mean? Like you're making $1 million a year at like 22? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like these guys haven't even scraped like 100K a year. Some of these workers on the street are making like $4 an hour, and we're making like a few grand a day. Like it's insane.
Yeah,
it's crazy because we're in such a good opportunity like in this world right now, and I feel like a lot of guys will look at this opportunity to join SMA or agency, whatever it is, but it's like they won't fully grasp it. They won't take action on it, which is crazy because this is literally like the gold rush of this new age. So
I think it's because like more so now than ever, like if you're watching this, you probably have like a roof over your head, water,
food. I think
there's like
comfortable.
there's if you look at like the human needs, like you pretty much got like obviously like we're in a like nicer place, but you know what I mean. Like you've got so you need to. I don't know. Would you? I know some people talk about like motivation depriving from like deprivation. So like, do you think like either using like pain to be motivated or like pleasure or a bit of both?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was looking back on like why I even start my business. Like why do I even want to like tell everyone to get fucked and drop in university and like ghost everyone? But it came mainly down to just like I think stuff that happened in childhood. To be honest, I think that's with every entrepreneur. It's just like. The reason people start businesses is because something happened in childhood and you want to get more external validation and you want to tell everyone to get fucked and all the haters to get fucked. And that's literally the reason. But like this won't really be applicable to mainly people in the audience, but like once you fulfill those subconscious drivers, then you're gonna be left with like, what the fuck do I even do now? Because I already flex on everyone, I already flex on all the haters, like we're making their yearly salary every month and now we're in Dubai and all this crazy stuff, but it's like what next kind of thing, because I already fulfilled all those. So now I actually realize this, but this was happening the past like 6 months. We were figuring out like what the fuck do I even do? Why am I even making money? Like why am I even here? Because you get so far so fast, but then you like your mind catches up and it's like, what am I even doing at this point? So it's very, very interesting. But at least like for mainly people in the audience, like I think it's mainly comes down to just childhood stuff, to be honest. Like starting a business or just you have a huge aspiration for. It's like something happened to your life, I don't think the average person is just like having urges to start a business at all.
100%. Do you think reality is real? Like, you know when you look around and it's like, you just see people like NPCs in the street. Like,
bro.
Is life actually real, or can you just like, I don't know, manifest shit?
It depends on what you define as real, because like some of the higher level thinkers here, like if you've read Reality Transurfing and Parallel Universes of Self and all these books, like there's essentially always parallel realities or universes right now that coexist at the exact same time. So I'm able to just swap into any like reality I want pretty much, which seems crazy, but like I'm able to manifest things like super, super fast. And I've done this with like a lot of things, but you could get like very, very good at it and like manifest a lot of things. But no one really has the ability to do that. And this is what I learned from like secret societies and stuff like this. But I won't go too much now, but it's pretty interesting. I mean, I think reality is just like a playground right now. It's like we could just do whatever we want. We could fly wherever we want. Like we could live in Dubai for the rest of our lives, get Lambos tomorrow. Like we could literally do anything, which is I think so much fun.
Because like for those watching, you can like what I recommend doing is just like imagine what it feels like to achieve everything and just like live in that like body. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
like you can still be at a higher frequency when you're starting out. And like what we were saying about negative feedback loops, don't like be needy, don't be like the person trying to chase their way to success. Just live in like, I know it's cringy because like abundance gets thrown out there like all the time. But you know what I mean? Just like be the person that like just acts like they have everything.
Like you have to change the self first and then you can achieve the goal. And I feel like the more you could like align yourself with that frequency of that goal, then you just get there like you can just teleport pretty much to like to your goals. Which is very interesting, but like it takes a lot to learn that knowledge though, I feel like. Like the stuff I learned was over the past like few years, just like learning like frequencies and just like manifesting all that stuff. But like it's very, very interesting. I feel like reality is just a playground right now. It's just like we could literally do whatever we want, and it's a crazy feeling, but it's also a bit like, I don't know, it's interesting. I would say it makes you feel a bit lost as well, but it's also fun at the same time.
Suffering from success.
It's like, what do I even do next? Like,
I mean, a lot of like artists feel like that. Like, and they make like tens of millions, but like, you know what I mean?
It's a very interesting feeling, but like, I don't know, don't make that stop you from getting here at all, because it's not like it's obviously a good problem to have, like to feel lost, but if you're like making a fuck ton of money, but better than being like a brokey, I guess. I think just try and enjoy the process, like when you're starting out. That's
like,
all it is,
because you'll be, and document it as well, like Erik did. I should have done more, but like you'll be looking back at that, so definitely like record yourself doing the first cold call, because you can make those insane Insta edits.
Yeah,
They
it's
talk.
like, yeah, I've made a few of those edits. It's crazy. Like, just me when I was like making like literally zero, and then now we're in Dubai and all that stuff. It's like, it happens so fast, but 100% make sure you guys like document everything, because it's like, that's one thing I wish I did even more. I already document a lot, but just like, I wish I even documented even more, because it's like,
Yeah.
it's hard to remember like certain moments, but then when you actually see it on camera, it's like, fuck, like that was crazy back then.
Final thing, should we say like, I don't know, what's the plan now? Obviously, the audience knows roughly like your rev, but like, what are you gonna do to make like, do you have a plan for like 100 mil, like that kind of?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually getting into like some private equity stuff right now, so I'm doing some deals.
Every like billionaire is like private equity.
So that's what I realized. I got a mentor in private equity, so he's like 9 figures, and I've also got a few connections with like some even like billionaires now who are also in private equity. So I'm learning a lot from them, and that's actually how you can make like multiple 7 figures or multiple 6 figures, like easy payouts. So within a few months or years, whatever it is. So on like even just one deal kind of thing. So that's kind of what I'm doing now on the side. I'm also just scaling up the mentorship business. So that's the main thing I'm focusing on now.
What about branding? Like personal brands? No?
Yeah. Well, I guess the personal brand, I don't know, like maybe 100K followers on Instagram would be cool, but it's all about the quality of people.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Like, I don't want a bunch of random people following me. I just want like high quality clients. But that's kind of what I'm doing. YouTube, I'm mainly posting like once a week now, twice a week. I wasn't for the past year. I was only posting like once a month, but yeah, now we're just grinding. So bunch of content on YouTube coming. I've actually got like a bunch of mentees. I was actually out with at dinner. I got like 6 of them out in Dubai right now, and they're all doing like 30 to 70K a month, and they were only at like a few grand a month. So gonna get a bunch of content with them, and yeah, it should be good. Yeah,
that's interesting. I think like same with we can just quickly talk about testimonials and wrap it up. Like, once you get clients, I think like the best social proof is the one that's like hardest to fake, right? So you can have like mentees in person and nothing's gonna be able to beat that, because like the client is there. It's not some like 2-year-old like iMessage screenshot of like,
that's
you know what I mean? Like I see those like quite commonly as well. So I think interviews and like things are the best. Like once you get results with clients.
Yeah, if you could have like I have like 6 mentees out here right now. I'm getting like interviews with them in person, but like those are way more powerful compared to like online stuff. Like obviously like case studies, Google like or like Zoom recordings are good, but like if you could literally like you don't have to fly with your clients, but like at least if you're in the same city, 100% do an in-person interview, because that's going to be huge.
And do you like, I guess like what was the transition point from like agency to done with you, like coaching? Is it just like I know, I'll be honest, like mine's just like for scalability and like just more time, like it's less stressful. Or is it also like, because I had actually a lot of people that watch my YouTube are like quite old, which is like weird because you would expect like them to be young, but I think it's the content I make. But like I guess you prefer working with people around your age as well, right?
That's the thing, so I prefer, there's a few reasons, but like the main thing was like I just didn't like doing the agency anymore, to be honest.
Everyone gets to that point. It is I'll be honest, guys, it's a stepping stone.
It is a stepping stone. Like I had an existential crisis. I was like, what the fuck am I, like why am I making money? I don't like what I'm doing. And I switched into it. I'm feeling way more fulfilled now, which is good. But I'm obviously partnered up with a bunch of other agencies right now, and I've got rev shares and equity in them, so I'm obviously still actively like running agencies, which is good. But I mean, it was mainly just fulfillment. I think also scalability as well. Like it's kind of just every person who's doing this stuff. So I mean, at least like even if you're in an agency, you need to switch to done with you at a certain moment. Even if it's a done with you agency, like selling a course to your ideal client who's like a roofer or whatever.
You can literally just transition. Like, people can't comprehend that like you can either sell done for you, done with you, do it yourself, or like a hybrid of both. A hybrid of both is not a bad option, where like you could just set up the ads and then like have a group coaching call. Like that's like better than done for you, but then done with you, and then I think do it yourself is the hardest to sell, but you know what I mean.
Exactly. If
you're helping real estate, you can literally just like, instead of doing it for them, just like teach them how to do it. And
it's literally the best setup, because they have so much more higher leverage, way better margins, way better scalability as well. You don't have a bunch of media buyers and CSMs and all this shit. Like it's way more scalable that way. And I think selling a course to roofers probably isn't the best option, but certain like specific niches like real estate, like Matt Shields did that well. He's doing like 300K a month. He sold a course. He was actually doing like done with you and also done for you. So he was like delivering Facebook ads for his clients and also selling them a course and also coaching calls. So it's like they got the best results from what I've heard, but yeah, it's like I think transitioning into that is way more scalable. And it's way better margins, way happier clients. Like it's just better. So
there you go, guys. You need to speed run to like 50k a month.
Speed run 50k a month. And
then come to Dubai and then I don't know, retire with the old people
retire
that
with
live
boys
here.
out here in Dubai. Yeah,
awesome. But we'll wrap it up there, guys. I'll drop Erik's YouTube or Instagram, whatever he wants, in the description, so you can check that out and see what he's about. Drop a like and subscribe and comment on this video. And it was great having you on.
Yeah.